London is the show.
I keep hearing about the show.
Shit's crazy.
Okay.
So they was working to systematically make drugs legal. And so with that being said, because they're the motherfuckers planning it and they got control over the laws and shit, they've been looking and cultivating land and shit to grow the drugs so they can fucking supply it because they know that they about to legalize it. But as they were just like talking that through in their little board meeting or whatever, I was like, this is exactly what the fuck happened with this cannabis shit. Literally. Like,
oh my God. It's bad. Prohibiting. But now everything is, you know what? We need to legalize this because it has medicinal properties and it's helping so many people. And it's like, it's always been that. But now it benefits you, and now you can control it the way you want and profit and benefit off of it the way that you always wanted to. So now you want to highlight all the positive aspects that the people who have been smoking have been highlighting all this time.
Yeah.
I went into the dispensary the other day, and it was so cool and so nice, and I was annoyed. I was fucking annoyed. And it's like, yeah, sure thing, like, get your paper, but it's like, the amount of people that have to suffer emotionally, physically, mentally, because of this war on drugs is asinine. Like, and it's astronomical. Like, people are still locked up because of this shit.
Where while dispensaries are being
open. Yeah. And there's like, yeah, so you can like elevate one or two people who were affected by the system to make it seem like you're addressing the equity issue. You're addressing your past wrongs, but it's like you can't really undo history. And I'm trying to just think about what is the proper course of action. What's the proper course of action? Education is definitely important, right? But what is another proper course of action?
I don't know, son, because I don't know. Honestly, a life in rebellion. For me, it's like the thing that comes up because, yo, you could fucking go through all of this shit to get a law passed, and even laws are kind of like suggestions. Like, no, if there's no real accountability check for like that, yo, the government is actually doing what they say they're gonna do, then it like doesn't even matter what the law is for real. So, for example, I just learned this through the partnership with The Point. So the folks at The Point helped to pass one of like, if not the most comprehensive climate law in the country, right? That's for New York State. They did that shit. Amazing. Mad work to get that law passed. In the law, there's these things that we're supposed to have done. These goals or staples we're supposed to hit by these years, whatever, right? So same thing for like cannabis legalization. If you wanted to, you have to make sure all these people are freed from jail by this year. Like, let's say that's in the law. Girl, if ain't nobody checking for that, it could be years and years and years and years, and it doesn't fucking matter. Like, there's no real checks and balances for, like, bitch, this is the law. Are you following it? Are you on track with it? So it's kind of like, yo, yeah, we can make a law, but the fuck, does that even matter for real?
So it's not just education. It's trying to make sure the finances balance out. So, like, the number of businesses or the number of people benefiting look like the people who have been harmed. Like, is that the justice? Should it be more people of color or people from communities that have been marginalized and affected by the war on drugs? Should they have more of the capital? Because right now it's still low. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's still very low. And then women of color is even lower. What is the true justice? I think it's a start, like making sure women of color businesses and cannabis are thriving. They have the support that they need. Even that, though, is so weird, and I feel like it's stigmatized. Like, you get to just be a cannabis business, but then I have to be the black woman-owned business. Not like, and yes, that's who I am, but you get to just be, I'm the cat, you can just give up for me. Over here, you got to be the black cannabis, woman,
Justice,
Tupac, W.O. walk.
Oh
Bro,
God.
Tupac walk, cannabis owner. And I feel like if that's the only, like you basically surviving and thriving off of fucking buzzwords for real. And when everyone gets tired of that,
well, they about tired of it right now. If you got all those titles, now might not be the best time.
once you right, once you get tired of all the fucking buzzwords, then what's the platform? What's the platform? Why do I need to shop at this business? You know? Yeah, high quality products, but then what if I don't want to shop it because your platform is that you're Tupac and white and black and a woman and
Sometimes you don't have, you could be all of that without saying all that shit out loud. Like nobody knows what. So there's these dispensaries that we see in. We're making the assumption that they're white because they don't have all that shit on there.
But I feel like usually white businesses, like I'll know a cannabis business is white because they'll just be all about cannabis, right? Fine. A woman-owned cannabis business, even if it's a white-owned woman-owned cannabis, woman-owned, it's gonna be woman-owned everywhere, right? It was like a woman-owned or a black cannabis business, black-owned, or black woman-owned. Like they're gonna make that very, you know what I mean? Because I feel like they want to make it known that they realize there's a gap and they want to address the gap and they're here to address the gap. There is a gap though. And like, hey, there's a gap. We're filling that gap, you know what I mean? So but like if you don't say something, how are you supposed to know? But there's not I feel like every minority owned cannabis business is making it known that
we're not white.
We're not white. We're not just stealing in perpetuity and taking away from like what these people.
Just because you're color owned or whatever, it doesn't mean that you're not stealing.
That's true.
You can have all the stickers or whatever you want, but like,
you're right.
Where do you get your weed from? What's your sourcing like? How do you treat people? Just because you black don't mean you with the shit. There's some bitches. Real shit. Some black people be more toxic than anything else.
Damn. Hate to see it. Hate to see it.
So I don't really know myself, but
what can we do, you think?
Oh my God, bro. Bro, what can we do?
We're educators at our core, you know, in our hearts and our minds. We're artists.
Yeah, okay, literally. Okay. So, I think we can expand on the Canada curriculum series. We could, at the bare minimum, put out one new extension a year, like around the 420 time, like bare bones. Like,
that's it,
okay, you have to teach every day. I have to put a lesson together every day. And you be dead doing it the night before, like, morning of, like,
that ass at the computer.
Okay. So, you can do that. And it can be, like, super, like, even just, like, how has music influenced, Canada culture? That is the EQ. That's the question. Ask your students to fucking look that shit up. Build a Canada playlist. That's the fucking lesson. It doesn't have to be nothing too crazy, But just to be relevant and like be putting shit out. And then, you did have Read Wednesdays in July. I know, but I literally have a timer. You could use Weed Wednesdays to be about pushing educational content as well. So there's some foundations that you have that you could just build upon. And we have to make time to study and learn too. Like, there has to be like, here's the time I'm gonna read at least one article this week, or I don't know what the fuck it is, but just making time to do that so we know what the fuck we're talking about. And fucking post about it. We're both getting better at posting. Stronger. for. And I want to make this shit fun too. Like, yo, can we look up where are the black-owned fucking dispensaries? Can we go tour them this summer? Yeah. And I think we've talked about that before, but we could legit do it now. Yeah. We could legit do it. Yo, let's go to one dispensary a week or some shit.
Nav, I love that. We should definitely do that. And, like, talk to the owner.
Or I could dead smoke at everyone.
Yeah. I could be like, how was it?
I like it there. Here's the papers. You know?
That's fire. Okay.
Yeah, that's something. And, like, you know, so the work feels like something you look forward to. It has to be a high lift. I can come into that, yeah. I literally smoke all the time.
I'm really excited to do the project where I break down. Like, I always wanted to break down songs that I love, even as just a rapper.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to break down these songs that have addressed cannabis use.
Why don't you pick, like, up to 3 that, like, that come to you instinctively and do them, and now you could put that out on 420.
Okay.
You could do 1 song a day from now till then.
Okay.
Yeah.
I heard one yesterday that I really like, and it was called Ooh, and it's by De La Soul and Redman.
Okay.
There's a song by Jacob Miller.
Oh no, Jacob Miller.
He was a big reggae artist, but he never really got to get to his superstardom because he died. He died really young, like 27.
Oh shit.
But he was really cool about Marley, and his music was powerful. But he has a song that I think is really dope. And then probably one more hip hop artist, maybe Missy Elliott, because she talks about cannabis use in her music, and a lot of people don't. Like we was kids, so we didn't really know what was going on. But smoke the high grow on the D-low, like smoking weed on the low. You know what I mean? Yeah. So maybe those are the songs I do.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.